Daily Mass Readings and Reflection. August 21, 2023. Feast Day of Saint Pius X, Pope. First reading is taken from the book of Judges chapter 2, verses 11 to 19. The children of Israel offended the Lord by serving the Baals. Abandoning the Lord, the God of their fathers, who led them out of the land of Egypt, they followed the other gods of the various nations around them, and by their worship of these gods provoked the Lord. Because they had thus abandoned him and served Baal and the Ashtoreth, the anger of the Lord flared up against Israel, and he delivered them over to plunderers who despoiled them. He allowed them to fall into the power of their enemies round about whom they were no longer able to withstand. Whatever they undertook, the Lord turned into disaster for them, as in his warning he had sworn he would do, till they were in great distress. Even when the Lord raised up judges to deliver them from the power of their despoilers, they did not listen to their judges, but abandoned themselves to the worship of other gods. They were quick to stray from the way their fathers had taken, and did not follow their example of obedience to the commandments of the Lord. Whenever the Lord raised up judges for them, he would be with the judge and save them from the power of their enemies as long as the judge lived. It was thus the Lord took pity on their distressful cries of affliction under their oppressors. But when the judge died, they would relapse and do worse than their ancestors, following other gods in service and worship, relinquishing none of their evil practices or stubborn conduct. Responsorial Song. Remember us, O Lord, as you favor your people. A reading from our Holy Gospel according to St. Matthew chapter 19, verses 16 to 22. A young man approached Jesus and said, "Teacher, what good must I do to gain eternal life?" He answered him, "Why do you ask me about the good? There is only one who is good. If you wish to enter into life, keep the commandments." He asked him, "Which ones?" And Jesus replied, "You shall not kill. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not bear false witness. Honor your father and your mother, and you shall love your neighbor as yourself." The young man said to him, "All of these I have observed. What do I still lack?" Jesus said to him, "If you wish to be perfect, go, sell what you have and give to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. Then come, follow me." When the young man heard this statement, he went away sad, for he had many possessions. Reflection for today's Holy Gospel. Go, sell what you have. Possessions are not bad in themselves. A person needs them to survive. But when one makes them the center of everything, a threat arises to hinder us from achieving a meaningful sense of happiness. The young man certainly looks for something more than having wealth and following the commandments. In theory, he knows that eternal life is something to aim for. But what he hears from Jesus is something unexpected, something he is not ready to commit to. Go, sell what you have and give to the poor. Then come. Follow me. Voluntary poverty is radical. It is a special vocation. Francis and Clare of Assisi are examples of those who happily responded to this call. They disassociated themselves from wealth and focused on doing God's will alone. Others may not be called to such radical poverty. They may be called to other ways of following Jesus. But the gospel certainly invites each one to reflect on his or her relationship with possessions and their impact on his/her values, relationships, and trust in God. Following Jesus means changing one's lifestyle and priorities. These changes may be very stretching and require sacrifice. Are we truly willing to make difficult decisions to follow Jesus?